So I got a new pit. Stick burner. Wonder what I'm gonna cook. I know. Wagyu brisket! Ha! Today on the Cookin Newfoundlander. Welcome back everybody to another episode, I guess if you want to call it, to the Cookin Newfoundlander. And today we're going to be cooking a Wagyu brisket. I went kind of upper echelon on this one. You know, normally I get a double A or a choice grade, I guess if you want to call it, brisket from a grocery store, but I ordered this one from the old Costco. And we're going to see how it turns out. I got some help with me today. This is my son, the little cooker, and he's going to help me put some seasoning on this brisket after I trim it up. So let's get to it and see what's going on. All right, so this is the old brisket. It's a Kingsway Wagyu. It's an Australian brisket. I don't know what the rating is, 8, 3, 5, whatever I guess you want to call it. And we're going to give this a little backyard trim. I'm not a competition cooker, of course, by any stretch of the imagination. So let's go ahead and open her up here. And we'll see what we're dealing with. This was, I didn't buy it locally. I had to have it flown in from the website. Let's take out the purge pack here. And I got some paper towels nearby to give it a little pat down. Like so. Now, Harry Sue calls this leftover liquid inside the bag the purge. I guess that's why. I guess it's called that because it's purged out from the beef. Let's see if we can take this out here. I want to get none of that purge around. There we go. So take this and I'm going to throw this away down into the garbage. And we'll clean some of this up off our cutting board here. It looks like a good cut of beef. Well, it should be, I suppose, for the old Wagyu. Here we go. A good clean. Good dry, like that. All right, so we can see we got a little bit of silver skin, not a whole lot. The marbling looks really well. I'm just going to cut some of this hard fat off and kind of just make it a little bit more aerodynamic. But the grain is running this way, as you can see, very good striation. And we're going to have to cut against the grain, so we have to cut across this way when we do our slices, so we don't get that really chewy piece. Let's go ahead and just do a little bit of trimming here. If you put your hand underneath like this, it kind of creates this kind of bowl effect and allows you to trim just a little bit easier. Of course, we want to keep those trimmings. I am thinking about purchasing a meat grinder, and then that way then I can make some brisket burgers. I got my little cooker here next to me. He wants to get in on the video as much as he can, but you know, it's not his time yet.
Hi, Daddy.
He'll help me put some seasoning on this now when I get it all trimmed up. We'll just show you how easy it is. Even a small child can do it. Okay, we just got a little bit down right here. We're going to cut this off. Trim on this is actually pretty decent. It looks like they took a lot off already. Now again, I'm not really interested in, you know, taking all of this off. Again, this is only just for our backyard cook, so it's not that big a deal. So All right. Let's cut some of this hard fat off up here. Now I do have this ridge cut here. What I'm probably going to do is I'm probably just going to cut that right off. Let's turn this around so you can see it. See this right here? It's kind of a funny cut here. I guess they were cutting off this big piece of chunk of hard fat that's normally here. So I'm actually just going to trim that right down. Like so. Keep that. And I'm going to take this here and I'm going to cut this as well. Keep that. And it looks like I got a vein right here. You can see that, right? So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out as well, because it's just a bit unsightly. It doesn't matter, like once it cooks down, you're probably never going to notice it, but you know, when you don't have to. And of course all these trimmings you keep for some tallow. And I'll be making some tallow out of it. I think that's not a bad trim for the top. Let's go ahead and flip it over. And I'm just going to take some of these like stray pieces off like this. Now normally you leave about a 1/4 inch of fat on the bottom to protect the beef as it's cooking. And this seems to be pretty good. I get a little bit of hard fat over right here. A little bit thick. So I'm just going to cut that off. If you get down to the meat, it's not the end of the world. Again, you're only... For this channel anyway, we're basically only cooking for family and friends. Even though there's not much of these gatherings going on anymore with the state of everything currently. That looks pretty good. Maybe I'm going to take this little piece. See, kind of out of shape here. Maybe I'm just going to cut that piece off. And just to make it a bit more symmetrical. I'll keep that. Like that. Okay, that actually looks pretty good. And a few stray pieces here. I don't have a whole lot left over. This is actually a pretty big brisket. It's about 12 pounds. A lot of flat here, not a whole lot of point. As you can see, the fat has already been cut out of here. But we're going to keep that. A little tag in over here, we'll cut that. Now a little trick, of course, is as you see the grain is running this way, is a lot of people will cut this corner right here. And that'll tell you where you have to kind of take your slices from. But I think I should be able to tell when it's cooked. A little bit more silver skin here. Maybe I'll take some of this out. Okay. All right. Take some of this out. All right, it looks like we're doing good. All right, we're going to put some beef concentrate on this now. It's a little trick to make it a little extra beefy flavor. And then we're going to put some seasoning on. All right, so we're just going to spread some Lawry seasoning salt on here as a base coat. And I got my little friend here with his little hands, the little cooker. So I'm just going to spread the Lawry's on. Just give it a nice small coat. We're going to be doing this Texas style. Okay, you can give that a little pat down if you like, cooker. Good job. And get your sleeve in there. Alright, now we're going to go with the next layer, which is going to be the salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And this is a fairly big piece of meat, not real thick, so don't be afraid of it. But you can take it. And go ahead, little cooker, you can start to pat that in if you like. Now normally I would use the same style of rub that I used in my other video. That's good, thank you. With the chuck roasts.
Okay.
But I'm going to try Texas style this time, and I'm going to let her cook right through. So I'm just going to flip this guy over. There we go. And then, of course, we put our beef concentrate thing on this side. Give that a nice rub in. Make sure you get all the sides and all the important places. This beef bouillon concentrate, I picked this up on a few different YouTube channels. I've never tried it, so we're gonna give it a shot here. First, we're gonna go with our Lawry's. Just a light coat. And Lawry's is what, as they call him, Barbecue Jesus on YouTube. He uses Lawry seasoning salt. The old Aaron Franklin. Make sure you get your sides. Forget those and the tops and the bottoms and all the spots where your mouth is going to hit. Okay, there we go. Get this side. Okay, go ahead. In the cooker, you can pat that down. All right. Now we're going to go with our seasoning. That's good. Now here, little cooker, you can go ahead and pat that down if you like. All right, thank you for your service, sir. Now we're going to let this sit in the fridge overnight. And then we'll throw this on the smoker tomorrow, the brand new smoker that we have. And it was custom built by a group in Ontario, Canada, called Smoke Fire. Or Smoke North, sorry. My apologies. Thinking about that fire tomorrow, that's all I got it on the brain. This will be my first cook on it, so, you know, be kind. Have a look at this side. Yeah, everything looks good there. So we got a little bit of extra seasoning to put up on this way. And we should be good. All right, so let's go ahead and put this in the fridge. Put it on a pan, maybe up on a rack so it's not sat down on itself. Let that salt pull the moisture out of the skin so we get a good crust on it. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. Morning, everybody on YouTube. It's early and it's cold. Not supposed to be much wind today. This is a new barbecue built by Mike Miller. He's a fabricator up in Ontario. Custom made for me and sent down on a big truck. This is an offset stick burner. Weighs about 1,000 pounds. It's a 24 by 48. And it's a beauty. We're going to be cooking on this today. It's going to be the first cook. And normally I wasn't going to shoot this, but I was like, shag it. What else? Let's get her done, boy. So I got the lump charcoal over in the fire starter. I'm going to throw it inside. And then we're going to be cooking on oak today. The maple that I have is not real dry. So we're going to be cooking on that. We're going to be cooking that Wagyu Brisket. See how it goes. So I'm going to catch you guys back when I get the fire all started up. And we'll see how it goes. Just about ready. There she is. We're going to put the brisket in with the point in facing the fire. And I bought 2 aluminum pans I'm going to put over here, put some water in, and add some moisture to this cook. I'm also going to be using my new meter plus to monitor the temp of the cook chamber to see where the tell-true monitors that are here and here, to see how they stack up against the meter, and also to get the temp of the point muscle so we don't overcook. Catch you back in a bit. Hey there, folks. We're at the 3-hour mark. So we kind of had some issues, I guess, with a live fire in the beginning. Of course, controlling that temp. But we got her holding pretty steady now between 240 and 260. which is where I want to be. I want to be between, you know, around the 225 mark, I guess. So we're going to take a look at this brisket and see how it's looking, and then we'll give it a spritz. All right, let's have a look. Oh, there we go. Now I added a couple of pieces of pork belly that I had my sister bought me. So what I'm going to be spraying this with is 3 parts water and 1 part Worcestershire sauce. It's looking really good. Doesn't look to be drying out too much at all. And as you can see, it's nice, a lot of cooking space. I added this water pan over here to the side. Add some moisture in. And we're going to come back in a few hours and we'll check it again. I figured just check in. We're still burning pretty clean. We're now 7 hours, well 6 hours and 54 minutes into this cook. Let's kind of have a look, see what we got going on here. Here she is there. Got some pork I put on as well. Just some pork belly portions. I'm going to cook those up afterwards and re-season them. Water pan's almost dry. Maybe I'll have to refill that. Alright, internal temp is still reading at about 100 and... heavy. About 150 degrees. I think I'm going to let it ride a little bit more and then we're going to wrap. She's using up a fair bit of fuel, so I think I am going to rack this just to rush it along a bit. Alright, check in when we do that. Alright, we've officially hit the internal temp of 155, and it seems like it's stalled out there for a while. So I took it off the pit, and now we're going to wrap it. Let's have a look at that. Alright, so our brisket has reached 150 degrees, and we are going to wrap. So I've lined the paper with some beef tallow and also some beef concentrate, and I will attempt to wrap this very large brisket. Let's move them here in the middle a little bit more. Clean that up. Stain out our paper a little bit. So we have lots. Okay. Hold here. Let's see if we can give it a big flip. There we go. The big flip is complete. And there we go. It's all wrapped and ready. All right, let's put it back on the pit. So, 11 hours later, brisket's done. Well, it's resting. So what I've done is the package that it came in is a box with a styrofoam box with some insulating pads. And normally I would just use a towel, throw it up on the counter, or put it on a pan, away she goes. But I figured I would use this box because it's actually pretty good, well insulated, and that'll help it rest. So it hit 200, and then I probed it for tenderness. Spot on. Cross seams good. And I just kind of tore it open a little bit, just let it vent a little while, and now it's resting. So I'm going to let it rest for about an hour, maybe 2 hours, and then we'll come back for a taste test. See you then. Welcome back, everybody. For you, it's been milliseconds, but for me, it's been a long haul today. Total cook time on this was 12 and a half hours. Yeah. Probably would have been longer if I left it on the pit the whole time instead of wrapping it up. So I put the haul it out of the cooler, and then we're going to find out what it actually looks like. So let's have a look. Okay, so let's give it an unwrap. A little tiny bit of pooling right here. Smells amazing. We're going to remove this. Put it in the garbage. There we go. So we can still actually see the grain of the meat, so we know we have to slice across this way. I'm going to go ahead and use our serrated Victorinox today and see how it goes. Get that jiggle look. Okay, so we're going to cut it in half. It's still piping hot. Look at that. Super juicy, which we'd expect from a Wagyu brisket. Let's take a few slices here. What about a 1/4 inch thick? Let's see here. We got bend test. It's good. Holds up under its own weight. Pull test. Still super hot. The taste is amazing. I'm gonna give some to my wife. She's dying to have some. Beefy. Nice and salty, peppery. Different mouthfeel than the normal brisket that I do, which is the AA. Fat is rendered. You can tell because it doesn't fall away from the bottom of the flat. Quite good. Still lots of moisture left in there, look. Really good. Just put that aside. And let's cut into this point muscle. Look at that. Wow. Let's cut off a cube here. You go, wife? No? Yes? Okay. I'm gonna try that. Look. Super, super juicy. Big beef flavor. Really good. I'm still eating. This is really, really good. So like you can see here, look. You see that excellent smoke ring. Now I use mostly oak for this. I did use some maple in between because I had a 50-pound bag of oak and I just ate through that. And this is just, it's got a nice bark. I did notice that this has a more pronounced hard bark than I normally would on just even charcoal or, oh, it's so good. Makes me want to go buy another one and try with my own rope. Yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah. Alright, guys. I'll have the ingredients and also the cook times and how this cook went in the description below. Please like, subscribe, and comment. That promotes the channel and allows the algorithm to get other viewers up here. And if you're watching from Facebook, remember to sign in with your YouTube and subscribe because, support the channel. All right, guys, if and gals, sorry, it's a bad habit. If you questions, comments, concerns, anything at all, you know where to leave them. Get cooking.